Hey, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co., and this is News and Week in Review, where we're going to dive into a variety of news pieces. We're going to dive into the games I played, the various videos last week, reviewing the Board Game Geek Hotness, all of that and more. I have a gushers on my table, my son dropped off. And we're going to go ahead and dive into that with links and timestamps to everything down below. Let's go ahead and start off with news, where we have Six Siege, Mythic Games with another issue. And both things are true here. I am sympathetic to how something like this could happen, and also you can't afford to have things like this happen when you've had so many issues already. I have a little Discord pop-up over there. You can't afford to have things like this happen when you've had so many issues already, unfortunately. And so Mythic Games, basically, they had late pledge contributions going on, and that would be great in and of itself. The problem is, now for the bad news, we reached the point where our stock of certain items intended for after replacements and missed orders is already depleted. Basically, they ask people for more money, because that's the only way to get your game, and then people who pay that money, some of those people, there's not enough stock for that stuff. So they are giving money back, supposedly, but the whole thing is an absolute mess. And again, I am both sympathetic to how something like this could happen, and also the point for sympathy is well past on a situation this messed up. You just can't have that stuff happen. We have Jurassic Feud over here. Jurassic Feud coming from Vesuvius Media. This is going to be a prequel, I assume, to Catapult Feud, or a sequel to Catapult Feud. I don't know if there's timelines that matter here, but more Catapult Feud, but this time with dinosaurs, and almost everything is better with dinosaurs. We also have over here, we have a Shet over here. Where's a Shet? A Shet over here with Doggerland. Doggerland is going to be an upcoming game from a Shet. This one's going to involve, as the leader of your tribe, it's up to you to guide your people through the challenges of 15,000 BCE. Immerse yourself in the strategic depth of tabletop adventures, etc., etc. I don't know what Doggerland is exactly, but if you're interested in this from a Shet, we have that. We also have Dungeon Twister 20th Anniversary Edition. Dungeon Twister is coming to you from Politically, is coming back with a 20th Anniversary Edition over here. Are you visiting again?
Yeah.
You want to come sit in my lap?
But I need a video of this game. This game. Zombie side.
We're not going to do a video of that game right now. You can either join for the video or you can go upstairs. Which one do you want to do?
Join.
My son's homesick today, so we have a day. But Dungeon Twister 20th Anniversary Edition, they had their first edition originally. They had Dungeon Twister 2 Prison, and now they have the 20th Anniversary Edition. This is going to be coming to crowdfunding shortly. That's going to be from Politically. We also have over here, we have Clank coming out with Lairs and Lost Chambers. Lairs and Lost Chambers is going to be an expansion specifically to Clank Catacombs, if you're waiting or interested in that. And then we have a few Board Game Wire articles. We have over here, Hackers Attack website of Japan's biggest board game fair, years of irreplaceable information. Basically, Game Market, which happens 3 times a year, had a whole bunch of stuff. I believe images primarily deleted, but lost a lot of information, and a lot of it is unfortunately irreplaceable, which is just not a fun situation overall. We have over here Asmodee. Asmodee writes down more than $620 million of asset value, despite posting strong annual sales. If you've been following, yes?
There's no death here.
When is no death here?
No death.
Oh, White Death?
Yeah.
White Death, that's going to be his homicide. White Death, I don't know. I'd have to check the Kickstarter updates. I think
I'll take the calendar.
I can check the calendar. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, we're waiting very patiently for White Death, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, Asmodee, if you've been following the news, Embracer Group has a bunch of entities. They split them off. Asmodee is going to be taking on a bunch of debt for those entities. It's the most consistent, strongest asset that Embracer Group has, but they're still writing down $620 million of asset value, despite growth, despite sales. So overall, this is not a bad thing. There's a lot of numbers in this article. You can go ahead and go through it. Links, of course, down below. And then we also have Dicebreaker, Dicebreaker, owner Gamer Network, brought by IGN, and redundancies begin across the group. So now we have news on news articles. Dicebreaker is another large news site that often has a lot of board game news. Their suite of sites and whatnot has been bought by IGN, and a lot of redundancies begin across group is a polite way of saying people are being fired because their jobs have been eliminated. Which, both things are true. I tend to be sympathetic to the realities of running a business in the way that makes sense, and I'm also sympathetic to people who lose their jobs, especially when these things happen. This goes through a lot of stuff, including some people's reactions to this kind of situation, where, like, you know, it's already costing much, consolidation is always sucks. Like, these things are not fun for the people involved for sure, and it sucks. It sucks. Yes, buddy, what's up? That's our news.
We played that game.
Junk Drawer?
Yeah, we never played it for years.
We never played it for years?
Yeah.
Do you want to play it this week?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that. Anyways, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to have that. We're going to move on to over here. We're going to move on to the Hotness. The Hotness over here is going to be our review of the Board Game Geek Hotness. As usual, we have a few things to go over. Let's see what we have specifically to focus on. We have, let's see what we want to focus on. Generally, I focus on a few things talking about why they're hotter. We have Age of Innovation, Voidfall, as well as a few other games that I don't know if they're why they're here, but I know Neon Guerrilla just did a video of games that are making their way into the BGG Top 100, and a bunch of those games are in the Hotness, so it could just be a coincidence. It wouldn't be the craziest. They are all inherently popular newer games, but also it could be that they got extra clicks because of that video, and I wonder if that's the case. We also have over here, we have Terraforming Mars Expeditions. We have Expeditions. Expeditions is almost certainly in the Hotness because they just announced the expansion upcoming for Expeditions. We will have coverage of that over on the channel for you. We have Dune Imperial Uprising is another one that was listed, but again, it's a hot game anyway, so it may have showed up regardless. We have the Veil of Eternity. This just got a write-up over on Board Game Geek. The Veil of Eternity. It got a write-up over on Board Game Geek in general. Eric Martin did a review of it, so that's going to be showing up over there. And then we have Leviathan Wilds, the upcoming crowdfunding campaign. We have, it's also delivered. We have Slay the Spire, Black Forest, Rebirth and Super Monday. Those are both going to be active crowdfunding campaigns. Rebirth over on Kickstarter is going to be a tile-laying game. And Super Monday is coming to you from, oh my gosh, I'm blanking on the publisher, but it's coming to you from the people who bought you Twa, whatnot, I think. No, people bought you Carson City. Carson City, Xavier Georges, Quined Games. Quined Games, Super Monday, currently over on GameFound. I am being a drop shorter with my Hotness reviews because I have a child in my lap, and this video is going to be a drop shorter than it usually is because of that. So that's what we have over here, which brings us to what I played. The games I played. I'm realizing now I don't even have games on the table like I normally do.
Are you done with your... What? Are you done?
With the video?
Yeah.
Not yet. I probably have another like 7 minutes. Is that okay?
Can I do 1 minute?
1 minute?
Yeah.
Is that because you want to go already?
Yeah.
Okay. We're going on a trip. Anyway, so let's go ahead and talk about the games I played. The games I played. So a few games I got played this week. We got Hanamakoji, which is always delightful. I really love playing Hanamakoji, and I got a few games in this week, which is always nice because I think it's a delightful two-player I pick you choose game with that has the variation of Hanamakoji Geisha's Road. Both are fantastic, but I do find myself playing Hanamakoji more. We have Trailblazers. I got to play a few games of Trailblazers, which is great because I like Trailblazers, and I've been diving into that one because I have the Sasquatch mini box expansion that I want to play, and I've been refamiliarizing myself with Trailblazers. Not that it's a hard game to refamiliarize yourself with, very easy, very accessible game to play. We have Primal. Finally sat down and played Primal. Expect a review on it soon. I plan on diving into a few campaign games, then covering the review. I don't plan on finishing the campaign before reviewing it, and then we'll see what happens next after that. And then lastly, we have Planet Unknown, a game that I consistently come back to. I find Planet Unknown is so easy to table, it has become one of my consistent polyomino games. Are you humming? Dun 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 dun. For the weekend review, for the videos, on Saturday. On Saturday we had a For the Queen review. It's a small box game that's more of an RPG experience. It's both not my genre and not a game I'd pull out and play, and I also respect what it's doing. I thought it did a very good job at what it's doing. So For the Queen, rating-wise, there's a 2 out of 5 for me. Not my type, but I also do think it's interesting in what it's doing. It was better than I would have expected for someone who's I'm not even the target audience for. Later on Sunday, we had a review later on Saturday, we had a gameplay of Rove over on Kickstarter from Addicts Games. On Sunday we had the 10 worst parts of it being a content creator. To be very clear, for those who didn't watch the video, it is not a pity party. I love what I do. It is an incredible job that I'm very grateful for. There are also things about it that are a bit more work. It's part of a series of videos I'll be doing. I have 10 best parts of being a content creator coming up. I also have 10 ways to make money as a content creator. I'm going to be talking about other creators, lots of things, just like kind of random stuff that are not typically us board game stuff, so much as content creation stuff. We have Tuesday. No, that's Monday. We had 2 back and not to back, going over the variety of crowdfunding campaigns. No major highlights for me this week. Every week has different. Some weeks have games that pull me in more than less. I do find I still back 1 or 2 games a month, but nothing on Monday. Nothing on this week's 2 back or not to back. On Tuesday we had Guns of the Old West gameplay. This is a sponsored gameplay on a GameFound game. Guns of the Old West is a skirmish game that has a variety of campaigns that will play out over, well, whatever. We also have that was Guns of the Old West. We also have later on Tuesday we had Mythlords. We had a sponsored preview of Mythlords, which is a backer kit campaign. And then lastly on Tuesday we had a sponsored preview for Backpack Panda. This is a hidden roll Panda game that you can check out over on Kickstarter. Those interactions were getting a bit too distracting for me. On Wednesday we had a Degenesis preview as well as a Degenesis gameplay. It's the first time I ever did a preview on the channel. I don't plan on doing previews. Usually I will not. Usually Meg does the previews. I just took over because unfortunately it was needed that next day and was not able to get done otherwise. So I took over the preview for that one day, but expect the previews to usually be done by... I like the separation that I do review content and someone else does preview content. I like that separation, and I'll be trying to keep it as much as possible, barring the occasional exception with something like this. And then later that day we we have the gameplay as well. You can check out a gameplay of it, and there'll be more gameplays coming as well. These are both sponsored content. On Thursday we had a Ironwood review. We had a review for Ironwood. This is coming to you from Tricarian Mindclash Games. Mindclash Games. Ironwood is a 2-player asymmetric experience. I really enjoyed playing through it. I played through both the sides, and I've played through both autonomas as well. So I've really dove into the game, had a lot of fun with it. I think it's very, very well done. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5. Later on Thursday, we had a live Q&A for 23 minutes before the internet cut out. I've been having issues for a while. I'm not sure I'm going to stream this week. I think I'm done streaming from this house. So if you don't know already, I will be moving, and so there might not be a stream for a week or two because it's getting too frustrating for myself and for viewers. So we're going to have streams reconvene once I'm in a new place with new internet. So we'll deal with that then. That's Thursday. Late on Thursday, last day on Thursday, we have Neverrift gameplay. So Neverrift is, we had a gameplay on Neverrift. There's a sponsored gameplay. Neverrift is a trading card game that is going to have you dealing with a grid, either 3x3, 4x4, different sizes, while you place cards down, trying to be mindful of their strengths, and you're going to be building out your decks with certain deck restriction rules around how to build your decks. And then Friday we had a Where Are They Now? Just talking about where the games are, just going over the 5 years of games I've played over the past various Mays of the past 5 years, just going over them and seeing how things have settled in different ways. And that brings us to today. Today we're going to have a Neverrift preview going up, so another sponsored video around Neverrift, just going over a showcase of the game, and we also have a review going up for Rebirth from Mighty Boars Games. As it brings us to next week. Next week we'll have a few things. We're going to have a games being added to my collection video, just going over, it's different, not games leave my collection, a games being added to my collection video. This is going to be a new series starting next week. We're also going to be having a roll and write top 10, my top 10 roll and writes, which I think I've been promising for the past 3-4 weeks, and it keeps getting pushed off. Maybe this is the week it finally will not get pushed off. We'll see. I just have to balance the schedule and see how it all works. And that is basically it. I realize I do not have the games on the table, but I still will be playing games this week. I just forgot to set them up on the table, so I'll figure it out later as far as what I think will get tabled this particular week. In any case, until next time, I'm Alex Radical from Board Game Co. I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, I hope you have a good one.